All right, well, I think we're ready for SEMA. This car is probably more complete than most of the cars at SEMA. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel again. Today is a big day because as we film this, our Maserati giveaway is premiering right now, and I'm really hoping it'll get the 10,000 views because I really want to give that car away to somebody. If you're a friend of mine or if I know you, please don't enter to win. I want this to be someone that I don't know, that I've never met, completely at random. So I want it to be as fair as possible. So that's going on right now. Today, we're back to the grind. I'm gonna mock fit the interior of the 924 just so I don't have to have it stored anymore. I'm really happy with the job that my upholstery guys did, custom making these seat covers. These Sebring style seat covers, you just can't buy them anymore. So they literally took the old ratty seats, deconstructed the covers, and made them from scratch. Now, had I known what that was gonna cost, I probably would've just got a set of black seat covers. But the seats are the whole reason I bought this particular car. I also got the phone dial wheels on it, so that's what we're gonna do with this today. Then, as a lot of you may or may not know, we are a full production facility. So what you see on the weekends when we're here filming is not necessarily what you see during the week. So we've got a lot of customer stuff to do. I've got a T-bucket that we're coming to the tail end of that I'm months behind on that I gotta get done. So we're gonna get to that too. And I'll give you a Night Rider update here in a little bit because I know you guys love kit and that's what you're here for. So thanks for sticking along. So I'm old, I'm out of shape, and I'm not as flexible as I used to be. This is definitely the young guy's sport. And I gotta remember how I took this out to begin with. Now I'm not putting the new carpet in yet, and I'm not hard mounting these seats. I'm just setting them in here, and the reason for that is All-Star Auto Glass needs to come pull the windshield for me next week so that we can remove the dashboard and put the new dash in. That's something Antonio and his German car experience is really good at, so he's gonna be doing that for us if we can get him here long enough. I don't know how they consider this an actual seat or what the point of it even was. I don't know why they didn't just make it a two-seater. So this is all new foam too. They cut all this foam. All these things need to lay out. What would really help is we get a sunny day, I'll take it out and just park it out in the sun. I hope it doesn't fade the color on the material, but I really do like these seats a lot. There, that solves that. So, I had them repair this for me, and they used an extremely long bolt. That's just not gonna work for me. It's been a minute since I took this apart. So just done it to hold it on there. One thing I've never been a fan about old Volkswagen and Porsche products is the crank on the seat to recline it. Just so much work. Luckily they lubed this one up for me so it turns easy because it didn't turn hardly at all before. All right, one side down, on to the other. Some purists out there right now going, no, you're ruining the car. Because I took some 50-year-old plastic out of it. There we go. And again, before anybody's upset with me, I'm just mock fitting this. It's all coming back apart again. Perfect. Well, they don't call me cross thread for nothing. All right, well, I think we're ready for SEMA. This car is probably more complete than most of the cars at SEMA. I was having problems getting the moonroof back in, sunroof, whatever you want to call it. I couldn't get it to sit right, but now that I've got seats in it and I can actually sit in it, I'm gonna give it a shot. There we go. And just like that. Now there is a rope seal that goes around the edge of it here. I haven't actually ordered any parts for this car yet. I'm only working with what I already have. I think getting the rope seal on it, it'll fit a little bit better and it'll prevent scratching from moving around. But it's YouTube finished. We've got it mocked up. Now I'm just gonna let it sit. The tires that are on it, obviously they're racing slicks. I'm not gonna leave them on. I'm just undecided on what tire size I wanna go with. Really what I'm gonna do is, once we have the engine in, we've got the exhaust all done, I'll decide on what coilovers to use. And when I decide on a proper ride height, then I'll decide on what tire size. Because I don't wanna buy tires now and then decide later I gotta change them. So that's where we're at. Finished. So, general repair is our main business, but we also do project cars. A shop our size, I have 3.5 technicians. We do just over $1 million a year in general repairs. That does not include the projects, and that does not include the car sales. So sometimes customer cars, the work schedule aligns with filming, sometimes it doesn't. Like right now, we're doing a 1966 Mustang convertible, converting it from an automatic 6-cylinder to a Pro Touring 289 5-speed manual Trimec. Unfortunately, that just doesn't fall into our filming schedule, so that one's not getting showed on the channel. But this one, we've been working on this T-Bucket, 1929 T-Bucket. It's basically a kit car. We've been working on it since August. I feel bad. I told the lady 6 to 8 weeks. Then I had some employee changes. And unfortunately, here we are now. It's been here several months, and we're just at the tail end of it. Steve's done a great job. We've upgraded the ignition system to MSD, a new Edelbrock carb. The air cleaner that was on it didn't match. It was just some ugly round aluminum thing, so I found an Edelbrock one to match the valve covers. We've rebuilt the front leaf spring. We've done new tie rod ends on it. The rear A-arms here were originally placed wrong. They were positioned on the outside instead of the inside, so they kept bending and breaking bolts. So we figured that out, got the geometry straight on that. Steve also did a painless wiring harness from Speedway Motors. Speedway is awesome. They have everything for these T-Buckets. You could build this entire car off of Speedway. So we've got all that done. Now, originally this car, the wiring that was on it, it had like 2 fuses. It had a live wire that was laying on the metal gas tank, and it was just, there was some electrical like lamp cord in there. It was pretty bad. So it was a typical of a 1970s home-built car. Now, with the painless wiring harness, Steve ran all the wiring through the frame, one by one, got everything done. And since this car never had an original harness, we ran into an issue in the back of the dash here after running all the new gauges and everything, that we have a bundle of wires with no place for it to go, no home for it to live, which is unfortunate because I don't just want to leave this big loom of wires right here hanging down, and I don't want to cut the carpet around it. So what I thought of last night is that I'm going to build a box. Now, I'm not a woodworker. I don't think I've used a skill saw since I helped my dad build a deck 25 years ago, or longer than that. So bear with me. It may not be perfect. This is my first attempt, but I'm going to get it, and I'm just going to enclose this in, and then I'll put some automotive carpet around it, and then that way it won't be seen and it won't be an ugly, ugly eyesore. And also it'll be high enough on the firewall here, it won't take away from any foot room for the customer. So this has been all sorts of little nuance things like this. Note, I didn't say nuisance, nuance with this project. This is completely different than we've ever done before. I'm completely comfortable with it, but it's just different. So it's taken us a little bit, but it's almost done. So bear with us. Jennifer's been a great customer. She's been really, really patient working with me, and I'm happy that we finally get into the tail end of this project. So this is just my first cut. I'm gonna cut one piece. I'm gonna start by building one side, and I'm gonna fit it in there, and when I'm happy with the fit, then I'll trace over it and duplicate it, and then make a top for it, fit it in the car. I'll screw the box together, and I'll use L brackets to hold it to the firewall. I got little tiny less than 1/4 inch sheet metal screws or self-tapper screws to hold it in place with L brackets. So that way it doesn't go through the stainless steel on the firewall, but it does bite into the fiberglass and hold it in place. My father-in-law is retired now, but he used to build custom cabinets, custom kitchens. We've got some beautiful furniture that he handmade in our house. if he's watching this, he's probably just coming out of his skin right now watching me try and work with wood, the way I cut and everything. I gave him a hammer one year for Father's Day. I think he literally threw it out the window. He took it as an insult. Of course, now I kind of understand that with my tools. Just like that, except for cut a little bit off. Still not quite enough. Cut down the backside a little bit. I failed woodshop in junior high. Like, I didn't know you could fail that, but I did. Perfect, just like that. Now, this is trickier than I thought. So, here's a harness, but the fuse box is right there. This is not what I was thinking. Okay. I'm gonna put my L brackets on here. I'm gonna put both sides in, and then once I do that, I'll make a top for it. And then I'll take it back out and I'll carpet all the pieces with adhesive, because I'm gonna have to put screws through the front so that if they need to access the fuse box, they can just take the screws out and the front panel will fall out and the sides will still stay. So that way they can access that. It's not perfect, but it's also not hokey. And I think it'll work pretty good. Just a happy little bracket right there. A happy little screw. And I'll see if this fits. It's right there. Have I mentioned I'm fat and out of shape? This is not the ideal position to be in. Perfect. Okay, so this one's gonna sit on the outside, and so you won't see this side, so it won't need carpet over here because it's gonna be flush against the side. But I am gonna hit it with some black all the way around just to give it a cleaner finish. I never use gloss black on anything. Semi-gloss is fine. Flat is okay for certain things, but never ever, ever use high gloss because it just looks cheap. This is satin black, that's gonna be the best thing to use. I'm sure that somebody is critiquing my spray painting skills as we speak, and that's okay. Thanks, Alan. Well, luckily, Alan had a nice, long, extended bit for me so that I can use that to get the screw in there. Beautiful. I got lucky. There was a piece of wood back where they have the gas pedal attached to, and I was able to go there. So what I'll do is I'm just building the box for right now, and I'll put the carpet on my front piece so it's all set up by Monday. But Steve will come in on Monday and have him trim this out, and then have him put carpet up on the side there while he's doing that because I know he's got a little bit to do in the wiring still. Well, I have a new tool set here, and I'll tell you about it in just a second because there's a story behind it. Yesterday, I hit a pothole and blew out my front right tire. Luckily, I didn't break the rim, it just tore a hole in the tire. So this car is new to me, go through it, don't have a wheel lock key, which sucks. So I called the local Mercedes dealer, which if you know we're in Redmond, you know what the local Mercedes dealer is. So I called the guy on the parts phone, was really nice. I said, hey, I just got this car, I don't have a wheel lock key. And he says, well, we don't really have a way to look that up. But if you take a good picture of it and bring it down, we have a master set I can look through, see which one it is and order that for you. Perfect, I'll be down in 10 minutes. More like 15 minutes, I get there. Now, walk up to the counter, and the guy at the front counter is scowling at me before I even get there. Now, I'm not sure what it is. I'm dressed nice. I don't look like a homeless person going to the Mercedes dealer. Flat build, hat, mid-20s, cheapo shitty tats, like a lightning bolt and something else. Clearly my tats are just better than his. So anyways, I tell him what I'm there for, and he says, well, the only way I can do that is to sell you a set of lug nuts, or locking lug nuts. And I said, well, I don't have the key to get the old ones off. Somebody I talked to on the phone said you could do it this way. Well, I can look it up by VIN. So I give him the VIN. He grabs out of the case a set of locking lug nuts. $125. It's $125. Like I can't fucking afford it. So, excuse my language, like I can't afford it. And so I said, all right, I'll take them, but let me open it up and make sure. Not the right one. Clearly not the right one. I said, it's not the right one. And he says, well, according to my Mercedes master catalog, this is what your car is equipped with. I said, well, clearly, according to my picture, it's not. So I see you have several other ones there. Can we open the boxes and see which one works? He huffed and he puffed, and we did. And none of them were correct. So I left. I also canceled the order of $1,200 floor mats that I had ordered for my wife's car because of that prick. So if anybody from Mercedes of Bellevue is watching this, that guy at the counter cost you more than a lug nut sale. Also, I will likely never buy from there again. Now, further on, by the time I get to the car, I get on Amazon and I find they have a Mercedes-Benz Master Set. This was $101. I ordered it at 3 p.m. I had it was delivered at 4 a.m. this morning to my house, and here's the wheel lock key that I needed. Now I have them all. So his attitude was unneeded. I pride myself on customer service. I pride myself on being nice. I used to be a real asshole. I know I was. I was for a very long time. I don't live my life that way anymore. I don't treat people that way. I don't appreciate being treated that way. Anyways, hope my paint's dry now. I'll get this set in there and then I'll get my screws. So I just discovered right where I'm putting this, I was gonna run a sheet metal or a screw down, but I see that there's a stud there from something coming through the firewall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open this hole up a little bit bigger, slide that on, then I'll put a nut on it and I don't have to drill a hole in the car. So now I can place this down in here, just like that, and I'll spin a nut on it, and that'll be good. All right, one more screw. 12 7/8 by 12. 12 7/8 by 12. Okay, let's make this happen. I think I cut that crooked. Come on, I did cut it crooked. Okay, my width is good. Ish. Now it's still a couple inches too high. This thing gets less and less square every time I cut it. I'm gonna have to move that one higher for sure to tuck this up under the dash. I think that would be good after I do that. All right, so it's Saturday. I don't live at the shop. I do have a family and I like to get home to them. So I'm gonna go now. But this is all rough cut in. This is not the final. What I did basically was just make a mock-up for my guys so that when they come in on Monday, they can see what I have a visual idea of. They can just do some final trimming. I want this edge, this upper edge, to be tucked up underneath the dash. And to do that, Steve's just gonna have to move the harness a little bit. I don't want to mess with his wiring, so I'm not going to do that. But now they come in, they're going to see what I want. They're going to have everything to do it. So I will post pictures of the final when we're done. For now, I'm going home. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Tell us what you want to see. Knight Rider, I've already ordered all my parts. I'm just waiting for it to get here. And as all of you guys in the community warned me, it's going to take months to get them. So we will continue to work on that car as the parts come in. Thanks. Have a great week.